Have you ever asked a man how he feels and he just shrugged, gave you the classic, I'm fine? Let's be honest. For many men, opening up emotionally feels impossible. But why? Here's the truth. Most men aren't taught to express emotions, they're trained to suppress them. From a young age, they hear things like man up, don't cry, or be strong. Crying becomes weakness. Vulnerability becomes a liability. So when pain hits, they go silent. Not because they don't feel, but because they've learned that speaking out makes them look weak. But that silence has a cost. You see it in broken relationships, in men who are isolated, even in a room full of people, and in mental health stats that are honestly heartbreaking. It's not just about sadness, it's about survival. So let's ask the real question. Why don't men open up? What's actually stopping them? Is it a fear, shame, conditioning? And most importantly, what can we do about it? Because understanding this isn't just about helping men, it's about helping all of us connect better, love deeper, and finally break the silence, one honest conversation at a time. From the moment boys can walk, they're told how to be a man. And that script is rigid and unforgiving. Don't cry, don't complain, don't talk about feelings, be tough, be silent, win, period. This isn't just cultural, it's practically global. Whether it's the locker room, the classroom, or even the dinner table, boys quickly learn there are emotional rules they must follow. If they cry, they're mocked. If they show fear, they're ridiculed. So they adapt, they armor up, they shut down. And over time, they start believing it themselves. They think strength means silence, that needing help is weakness, that vulnerability is dangerous, that feelings are a private burden. By the time these boys grow into men, the mask is fused to their identity. They might want to open up, they might even try, but that old script kicks in. It whispers, don't. Worse, society still rewards this emotional shutdown. The strong silent type is praised in the movies. The emotionally expressive man often seems seen as unstable, too sensitive, or not man enough. So when people say just talk about your feelings, it's not that simple. For many men, it's like speaking a language they were never allowed to learn or punished for using. Even when a man wants to open up, there's often a wall inside, built from years of unspoken fear, doubt, and emotional confusion. First, there's the fear of judgment. What will people think if I say I'm struggling? Will they laugh? Will they see me as weak? For many men, the answer feels like a painful yes. So rather than risk shame, they stay quiet. It's not that they don't trust others, it's that they've been taught not to trust the response. Then there's the fear of being misunderstood. Most men have never been given the tools to talk about emotion. Ask them to describe what they're feeling, and it's like asking someone to build a house without blueprints. They don't lack depth, they lack vocabulary. Emotional expression wasn't modeled, encouraged, or rewarded. This creates emotional literacy, not because men don't feel deeply, but because they've never been taught how to process or articulate those feelings. So instead of saying, I'm overwhelmed, they say, I'm tired. Instead of, I feel rejected, it becomes, I don't care. Not because they don't care, but because it hurts too much to say it out loud. And finally, there's the conflict between who they are and who they think they're supposed to be. The guy who wants to be open is still battling the voice that says, you'll be seen as weak. Don't show too much. Don't feel too much. Don't be too human. It's exhausting. This internal war wears men down. It creates a version of masculinity that's silent, emotionally distant, and constantly performing. They might joke, deflect, or go quiet, but inside they're carrying more than they'll ever admit. And tragically, many believe no one would understand even if they tried. When men stay silent, the damage doesn't just stay hidden, it spreads. In relationships, the emotional walls become barriers to intimacy, partners feel shut out, miscommunications pile up, and eventually the connections break down. Not because love isn't there, but because it's starved of expression. Internally, emotions don't vanish just because they're ignored. They simmer. They morph into stress, anger, numbness, and without any outlet, they explode, often in unhealthy ways. That I'm fine turns into withdrawal, outburst, or emotional shutdown. The numbers tell a brutal story. Men are 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women. They're less likely to seek help, less likely to talk, and far more likely to suffer in silence. Behind the jokes, the small talk, and the strong facade, there's often deep unspoken pain. And this silence gets passed down. Boys watch their fathers, brothers, coaches, and they learn. So the cycle continues. The cost of silence isn't just personal, it's generational. Because when men don't open up, it doesn't make them stronger, it makes them lonelier. It makes connection harder, it makes healing nearly impossible. And the worst part, men don't realize how much they're carrying until it's too late. If you're a man who's been holding it in for years, you're not broken, you're not weak. You were just never shown another way. But now you have a choice. You can keep pretending or you can start healing. And if you're ready for that next step, join us in the Phoenix Brotherhood, a community where men are allowed to feel, be real, and break the silence together. It's not about being soft, it's about being whole. So hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with a man who needs to hear it. Let's rise together.